Hello and welcome to Rest Indica Mind Maps. We are a repository of around 1000 mind maps which will make your UPSC preparation a cakewalk. You can download the link for the app in the description given below. You can also join our Telegram group, the link of which has been given below. And as of now, you can join this particular course at a nominal fees of rupees 199. Today, we are going to discuss about the logistics sectors of India. This has been in use for quite some time. And even if not in use, then this is a very important component of your GS Paper 3 economics part. Okay. So, first of all, what is the recent context that we are learning about this particular concept? This is because the Logistics Policy 2022 was announced by the government, the aim of which is to provide quick last mile delivery. Okay. So we are going to talk more about this, but first let us know about that what is the breakdown of certain components in the logistics cost in India. See what basically logistics cost is. This means that kind of endeavor or the amount of money which you are spending from appropriation of raw material to transporting it to the market. This has got a lot of things involved into it. We will going to learn about each and individual aspect of this in this particular video. Now see, the breakup reads as in the value added logistics, we spend around 5%. In the warehousing means storage, okay? We spend 24%. In transportation, we spend 61%. And see, in transportation also, we have got many modes of transportation, the breakup of which has been given over here. In the roadway transport, we spend 36%. In the railway transport, we spend 19%. In waterways, 5%. And through the aerial route, 1%. You can observe the dilemma over here only. We all very well know that if you are going to transport your goods and services, not services, goods mainly, through railways, then this is cheaper. But still, if you see the breakup, then we transport maximum of our goods through the roadway medium. So this is one of the challenges which we need to counter in the near future. Getting the point? Now, what is the basically logistics cost of India in the total GDP? This is 14% of the GDP, which is very high. OECD nations, their logistics cost is around 7 to 8% of the GDP. And so is the case with China. Okay, so what we need to do is that we need to reduce our logistics cost, not at the expense of anything else, but we should try to bring in innovation. We should try to solve the lacuna. Say, for example, the majority of the transport should take place through the railway route, through the waterways, and not through the roadways medium. Okay, so in the video, we are going to see a lot of things. Let us start. Now, see, in the recent context, we have seen that 35 multimodal logistics parks will be set up. And this is going to solve the transport challenges of India. Okay. Now, as of now, what we do need is that we need point to point movement. Okay. And the ideal mode is that we need to have the hub and spoke model. And this hub and spoke model will be materialized through the multimodal logistics park. And what are the components of logistics? The components are first of all inventory, warehousing, storage, transport, packaging, information and control. These are the components of warehousing on which we need to have substantial expenditure. Okay. And for decreasing our logistics cost, we need to decrease the expenditure which we do on these particular items. Okay. Now, the question is that why efficiency is needed? Efficiency is needed because first of all, see, if you are going to decrease the logistics cost, this will create new market. How it will create new market? By making your goods more competitive. Okay. Why more competitive? Because if logistics costs have decreased, then your cost of production decreases. Okay. Now this balances regional growth. Cost reduction will lead to cheaper goods, and cheaper goods will enhance your export. Also, interstate trade will increase. Okay. And in totality, this particular industry of logistics, this is of $2 billion industry. So you need to have efficiency in this gigantic proportion of percentage of economic wealth which logistics sector contribute to. Okay. Now, this also complements one India, one market, where we have the components of ENAM and GST. Okay. Now, what are the challenges which the Indian logistics sector face? The first challenge is technology, lack of technology. Now, lack of technology on many fronts. Say, for example, in roadways also, we are using such kind of vehicles which are fuel gulping. Okay. Still, the BS6 norms have not been implemented on a pan India level. Okay. So we need to improve upon the efficiency of the engines. We need to have the adoption of RFID. RFID means FASTag. I hope all of you must have heard about FASTag. FASTag works on RFID technology. Now see, well, first of all, why was FASTag brought in? Because what we have observed that in the toll collection centers, long queues of vehicles used to stand over there. Why? Because there we used to have manual collection. With the implementation of FASTag and the RFID technology, there is a barcode which is fixed on your windshield, and you need not stop anywhere. A particular camera will scan this QR code, and the toll tax will be collected automatically. So what this will do is that this will reduce the queue. This will reduce the queue and increase the turnaround time. And along with this, what we observe is that the drivers of big vehicles, they don't shut off their engines. So this also lead to a loss of fuel. Okay. So once we have adopted this technology, fuel wastage can also be counteracted. Okay. Inefficiency in handling warehousing and storage. Now let me give a simple example. Okay. Let me give the example of Food Corporation of India, FCI. See, Government of India has got MSP policy, and this MSP policy, government procures the grain through open procurement. In the open procurement, government cannot deny to any farmer that I won't take your grain. Okay. This leads to over storage in the FCI godowns. But the storage standards are so poor that the food is being eaten by mice. Okay. Moreover, they also have lack of stacks. Stack means these are the drawers or the cupboards where you can keep the items. So the warehousing and storage is also very compromised. So we need to improve efficiency over there. Okay. We have less number of ports. Less number of ports, two reasons. First of all, the port infrastructure is very bad, and the depth in which the port is situated, it is also very shallow. Therefore, there is slow evacuation. And the turnaround time is very high. Now, what is the turnaround time? Turnaround time means that a ship has come to the port, brought about some goods, and then from the port itself, it is again loading and departing from the port. This time in case of India is very high. Okay. Now, when it comes to railways, first of all, railways is highly congested, high tariff. What the government does is that it tends to take a larger amount of money from the transport section and tends to subsidize the passenger transport. Okay. Moreover, railways are also in very bad conditions. And this poor condition is not with railways, but with roadways also. Because the roads are in a very poor condition, therefore it takes more fuel to get to a particular position. Congestion is also there in the roads. Okay. And in roads, the problem of toll collection is a very big issue. Okay. Then in the inland water transport, first of all, inadequate depth, which we have read earlier also, that in the ports, the depth are very shallower, lack of terminals and lack of vessels. Moreover, lack of government support in waterways. The government too is very reluctant to implement waterways as an alternative route to roadways. Moreover, the logistics sector, this works in silos. There is lack of integrated approach. We need to have integrated approach. And that integrated approach should be followed everywhere. First of all, the transport should be integrated. We should have different components. Say, for example, I need to transport a good from one place to other. There will be some areas where waterways will be more efficient. There will be some areas where roadways will be more efficient. So there should be integration between these kinds of transport. Moreover, there should also be integration between transportation and warehousing. The warehousing facility should be absolutely ready to receive whatever quantity of goods they get, and also try to maintain the good conditions of the route. Okay. After that, what we see is that there are also some government initiatives which have been taken for this. The first is multimodal logistics parks. Now, what are the aims? The aim is that we should have fast, cost effective, and value chain developed logistics. Moreover, the major components of multimodal logistics parts are they will have freight terminals, cold chains, and warehousing. Recently, in this year budget, government has launched a very ambitious scheme by the name of PM Gati Shakti. PM Gati Shakti will have a digital platform which will bring 16 ministries to a common platform where they will have a coordinated and an integrated approach. Okay. We also have one reports by the name of Leads report where each and every state they get a ranking on what is their performance with respect to the logistics. Also, the government is on a spree to construct the dedicated freight corridors and two ambitious project of government of India, Sagarmala and Bharatmala. Sagarmala, in a way, tends to develop waterways, and Bharatmala tends to develop the roadways. They have inbuilt component of logistics improvement into them. Okay, so this is something which the government is doing. Now, the present policy, National Logistics Policy 2022. Let us see that what are the various features of this particular policy which the government has brought in very ambitiously. The first is the major focus of this policy will be on multimodal transport. Multimodal means that for transport, you can use multiple modes simultaneously. You need not be dependent only on roadways, only on railways, only on waterways. You can use these three in an integrated manner. Then there will be process re-engineering and digitization of the entire procedure. The major aim of this particular policy is to cut the logistics cost by half by 2030 and to bring it to 8% of the GDP. Okay. We also want to be in top 10 of logistics performance index, which is being published by World Bank. Okay. By 2030, of course. We also need to improve upon our logistics issue. We need to minimize the lacunas in that particular system. And also we need to make efficient logistics system, which will enhance our export. Okay. One more component of the national logistics policy is integration of digital systems, where we will integrate 30 different systems of 7 district departments into a single nodal agency. And here the information will be combined, which will relate to customs, commerce, rails, roads, and aviations. We also need to make a unified logistics interface platform, which will be a single platform for all the digital services. This particular platform will also provide speedy grievance resolution for industries, for manufacturers, and for exporters. One major component of this particular program is also of ease of logistics services. Now, what will this do? Is that this will monitor the logistics in program implementation. Okay, so it is a very novel conception. I hope that this will bring accolades to the logistics sector in general, but also we need to solve the lacunae which are already plaguing this particular industry. The first is that we need to increase the number of multimodal logistics part. We need to work on the value chain development. Okay. We need to improve the infrastructure of the rail, roadway, and the shipping. Moreover, regional connectivity should also be brought about through the multimodal infrastructural projects, establishment of industrial corridors, intelligent transport system, and hub and spoke model. We also need to explore the possibility of public-private partnership in building greater and efficient infrastructure which relates to the logistics sector. Okay. We also need to digitize this infrastructure, and we need to bring about better regulation, better inventory management, and better warehousing management. So in this way, what we can do is that we can reduce the cost of production. We can reduce the input cost, which will lead to greater profit maximization for the producers, which will lead to increasing exports and thereby garner valuable forex reserve for the country. I hope you would have understood this lecture. We will meet next time with one more video. Thank you very much.